Hey everybody, how we doing today? This is Paul Romero with the Wholesale Real Estate Investing Show number 256. Imagine that, 256 of these wonderful gold nugget pieces of information that are just hanging out there on YouTube channel for you to go get lots of good information from. Yes, the Wholesale Real Estate Investing Show. This is Freedom Friday, Hawaiian Shirt Day. It's kind of a Hawaiian shirt, I don't know. I like it. Feels like it. Anyway, Hawaiian Shirt Day, Gold Nugget Day. This is what? May 6, 2016. And I want to say welcome to all of you real estate investors out there, all of you wholesale real estate investors out there, all of you property noodlers out there. Yes, our team right there. And all of you who are potentially thinking about, should I become a real estate investor? Well, that's actually a very good question, and that's a question that we're going to look at today as far as real estate investing versus real estate working. Do I want to become a real estate investor, or do I want to become a real estate worker? What do I mean by that? Well, you guys do understand that there's two kinds of income, right? The first kind of income is called working income. That is where you actually have to put in your own physical time, your own physical presence, your own physical mind and being into the process of creating, doing, working on something that generates earnings. You have to do it, okay? If you have to do it, that's called working income. On the other side of the fence, there's a little thing called passive income. Passive income is where you do not have to physically be in there doing and working or creating or whatever it is in order for the earnings to be generated. Working income, passive income. Real estate investing, real estate working. Now, do you see where I'm going here? There's two ways, well, there's more than two ways, there's hundreds of different ways that you can, quote, invest in real estate. The three basic ways, realistically, are wholesaling, fixing and flipping, and buying and holding. So if we look at those, which ones are passive and which ones are working? Well, let's start with the buy and hold. The buy and hold is the only passive one here, okay? Because you buy a property, maybe you have to take a loan out on it, whatever the case is. You maybe have to fix a few things, not nothing major, but you put a renter in place. The renter now pays you X amount of dollars per month. Out of that X amount of dollars, so much goes towards making your mortgage payment, so much goes towards your taxes, so much goes towards your insurance, so much goes towards maybe if you have a management company who's managing the project, putting the renter in there, the property, putting the renter in there, collecting the rents for you, making sure that the mortgage payment gets paid and all that stuff for you. And then you've got, a little bit of maintenance, regularly scheduled maintenance for the property, or, surprise maintenance. Yeah, it does happen. Surprise maintenance that comes up. And so the rent payment covers all of those things, and there's extra. Say there's $100 a month extra. Where does it go? Where's that $100? What happens to that $100? It goes to you. That's the passive income. You didn't do anything. Your management company handled everything. They set up for the repairs to be made. They collected the rents. They put the renter in place. They got all the documents together. They did all that stuff for you. They made sure the payment was made. They put the money aside so that you could have your tax and insurance money at the end of the year. They did all that stuff for you. You didn't really have to do much of anything except for check on the management company's report, their progress report. What did they do this month? That's your participation. And for that, you made $100, right? That's passive income. How many times can you do that? Well, according to the banks, not very many, like 6. And then we cut you off because you have too many loans. Got to get creative after that. So if you're going to get into real estate investing, why would you look at fixing and flipping or wholesaling if buying and holding is the only way to generate the passive income? Well, that's what I'm talking about here. Real estate working, wholesaling and fixing and flipping are both real estate working, because in wholesaling, if you're not continually getting deals, if you're not continually selling deals, and you're not continually closing deals, then you're no longer continually collecting checks and getting money. All right. The minute you don't get a deal and don't sell a deal and don't close a deal, you don't get paid. Kind of like going to your job. You know, if you don't show up on your job Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, you think there's going to be a paycheck at the end of the day on Friday? No, it ain't going to happen. You can show up at 5 o'clock and you can say, "Hey, where's my pay?" And they're going to go, you know, got nothing for you. You didn't do any of the work. You didn't accomplish anything, right? Same thing in wholesaling. You didn't accomplish anything. You didn't get a contract. You didn't sell a contract. You didn't close a deal. You don't get paid. It's working income. You have to continually be doing it. Fixing and flipping, okay? You buy a property, you fix a property, you sell a property, you get paid. If you don't buy another property and you don't fix another property and you don't sell another property, you don't get paid again. You have to continually be buying and selling and closing properties in order to be paid. Now, here's the thing. On the surface, those are working incomes in the traditional sense, because you have to continually be doing the work. You have to be the one who's going out there looking at the properties and making the decisions on which properties we're going to buy for the flipping here. You have to go out there to, you know, with your contractor and go over the work, the scope of the work and what's going to be done. You have to go back out there and continually check on your contractor and make sure that the work's getting done. You have to get the real estate agent to come in there and check out the property and see what we can list it at. And of course, that little piece is probably kind of passive, because then the real estate agent takes it, and they do all the work, and they sell it for you. So there's a little passive piece of the system, right? But you have to continually be doing all these things. You've got to be the one checking out the books and making sure all the numbers are right and we're staying on budget, and you know, picking out the colors and doing all that stuff. In wholesaling, same thing. You have to be the one who's continually putting out the marketing. You got to be the one who's continually taking the calls and qualifying the sellers. And you have to be the one who's continually, you know, doing the comps and figuring out the offers and making the offers and writing the contracts and getting the contracts. And you got to be marketing and talking to the buyers and selling the house to the buyers and getting it into escrow. And then, hey, there's a little piece of the puzzle here again that's automated for you. Once you got it in escrow, the title company does everything for you. Well, that all depends. They hopefully should do everything for you, but you know, it depends on what you do with the deal. Some of the deals that we do, we need to be continually involved with that title company in order to make sure things are happening. So here again, all these things you have to be doing. So why would you want to get into this fix and flipping and wholesaling and all that if, you know, the passive income only comes from the buy and hold? Well, number one, if you're smart about it, I mean, if you can do it right, if you can do enough properties, either wholesaling or fixing and flipping, that you can actually start saving up some money and getting ahead. See, what happens is most people in both of these arenas, most people end up doing a deal, getting a deal, getting the processes done, getting it closed, getting paid, and then going back and getting a deal and doing a deal and and doing the processes and getting the deal done and closed and getting paid and then going back. You've got to think volume. You've got to have overlap, and you've got to be able to have, get a deal, start the processes, get another deal. Okay, the first deal is now, from starting the processes to getting to the closing table. Second deal is now starting the processes, get a third deal. Okay, so now this deal can go to closing. This deal's closing and funding. This deal's going to closing. This deal over here is getting into the processes. You get another deal. So you can keep turning it over and rolling it over so it keeps happening continually and continually. Well, if you've got 4 deals going on, you need 4 people working on those. If you got 4 flips going on, you got to have 4 contractors each working on a property, or one contractor who has 4 crews. You got to at least have 4 crews, whether it's contractors or not, but you got to at least have 4 crews, or 3 crews going all at the same time. Three crews going all at the same time. And so now, if you got 3 crews going all at once, you're really scattered about, putting in a whole lot of time, making sure that all those things that we talked about are getting done and nothing's getting screwed up. So what you need here now is a quality contractor, a guy who can be you, so to speak, and let him be the one who's out there making sure that everything's getting done right, the way that you want it to be done. Does that make sense? See, that's where leverage and teamwork and duplication and all of these things come into play, systemizing, all these things come into play, because as you find people who can do what you do. So now let's say you've got a really great contractor. He's got 6 crews, and he's, the most organized guy you've ever seen in your life, and he can manage these crews like Bing, and he can get in and start a project and work a project and get done on the other side, and you're in and you're out, and you're in and you're out, and you're in and you're out, right? Wouldn't that be a dream? And then let's say you've got an accountant and a bookkeeper who takes all the contractor stuff. See, the contractor doesn't even bring the numbers to you. They take them to the bookkeeper, and all the bookkeeper takes all the numbers and processes them and shows them to the accountant, who puts them all in order. And then all you do is you look at the numbers from the bookkeeper, and then you go out and you look at the house, and you're like, hey, this looks great. Let's sell it. Let's get it done. Let's move on, make another one happen. You can turn, and wholesaling you can set up to do the same way. You can have somebody who can run that show and do all those things, and have that accountant and all that. I mean, you can set these up in a way that they can actually turn into passive income streams for you. Now, they're not going to be 100% passive income. Like I said, you still, there's some place where you still have to have input and knowledge of everything that's going on. So the whole idea is to take everything that's going on and funnel it into these little bits of information right here that you look at that tell you this whole story, right? You just need this little piece up top, but with this little piece right here, you can see and understand the whole story and know what's going on, and you can locate the problems. And obviously that's what you do. You're a problem solver because you're an entrepreneur. So you have to step in, fix a problem, boom, you're in, you're out, you're done. And so there's always going to be a piece that you have to put into it. Let me rephrase that. There's not always going to be a piece, but that's what you want to get to first, is where you just have a piece that you're working on. Now, if you can find somebody else now who can replace you there and do that piece for you as well too, now you're out. Now you're completely out. It's all passive income. So in order to do that, going back to a word that we've talked about numerous times on these shows, you've got to create systems. There has to be a system for finding your properties. There has to be a system for evaluating the property and what's going to happen. There has to be a system for getting the work done, which that's already in place with your kick-ass contractor. There has to be a system for getting the property sold, which that's already in place. That, there has to be a system for combining all these things into the money system so that we can know what's going on with the money. There has to be a system for all of these things and more, and then you have created for yourself what's called a business system, and business systems are indeed passive income streams. Okay, a business in and of itself. Now, this is where the big difference is. Your wholesale real estate business or your fix and flip business, if you're the one doing it all, it's not passive income. That's the bottom line. Okay, if you're the one that's still out there having to do it all, it's not passive income. You own yourself a bitchin' job, you know. Now, if it's something that you love, just absolutely love to do, is be out there and be in the mix every day and running around with a chicken, like a chicken with your head cut off, trying to fix all these problems, that you really can't keep up with. That's the whole thing. There's a lot, I mean a lot, that goes into doing a wholesale deal. There's a lot that goes into doing a fix and flip. And if you have to know and be in control of all that stuff all the time, it's going to be taking all of your time. Now, like I said, if this is what you love to do, if there's nothing else you'd rather do, if you can't stand fishing, you don't like skiing, you don't want to, you never want to spend time reading, you don't want to be riding your bicycles or going to movies or traveling around the world, or if you don't like doing any of that stuff, and this is absolutely what you love to do and what you want to do with all of your time, then hey, you've got it made. You are a successful entrepreneur who is getting paid to do what they love. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a great thing. How many of you out there right now are getting paid to do something that you love to do? But if you don't like being scattered around, if you don't like having last minute, surprises popping up every single day, if you don't like having, you know, all of this chaos going around you, maybe there's only really one piece of the whole project that you absolutely really like doing. You know what I mean? Maybe you really like, evaluating the house with the contractor and seeing what the house is and projecting in your mind what the house could be, right? So you set up a system for somebody else to be acquiring the properties. Once you've got the property, you and your contractor go out there, do the piece you love, let your contractor take over, they do all the work, you come back, see the results, see how your vision matched up, get the thing listed and sold. It's all about systems, but systems are great except for one major problem: people. You can create all the systems you want, but a system still has to be run by a human being. A person has to run each component system of the whole system. And even if you've got the whole system, if you're totally passive, you need somebody to run the whole system. There has to be at least one person who is in charge of and running one of your systems. Unfortunately, good people are hard to find. That's a really old saying, I'm sure you've heard. You know, good people are hard to find, which is why and where part of that whole mentality of, you know, if you want it done right, you've got to do it yourself, because good people are hard to find. Nobody else can do it like you. You have to know everything. You have to do it all. You have to get off that is what you have to do. You have to get yourself into the frame of mind that, you know what, yeah, nobody can do it as good as me. Nobody's ever going to be able to do it as good as me. I'm the best, you know, and that's all there is to it, blah, blah, blah. You can hold on to that if you want, but you can also say, you know what, I'm okay with that. I'm okay as long as I can find somebody that can do it 80% as good as me. Because if they can do it 80% as good as me, that only means that I've got to participate in only 20% of it, or I only need to control 20% of it, or I only need to oversee, or you know, watch over, you know, whatever the case is. 20% of that is all that is left to be mine. The rest of it, this guy can handle. I can trust him. I don't have to worry about it. I say, here it is. He goes out, he gets it done. He comes back, he says, here you go. I'm like, perfect, 80% complete. Let me finish this off. Done. That's a time saver, don't you think? I mean, if you're putting in an 8-hour day, what's 80% of that? 2 hours. Your 8-hour day just got cut from 8 to 2. That's huge. That is huge. How many times could you do that? Now just think about that. Now you got 4 other systems. And you're only spending 2 hours a day on each system. 4 times the work is getting done to your one day. 4 days worth of work is getting done, and you're only putting in one day. That's the power of systems. A 4 times increase right there. Yeah, exactly. So real estate investing over real estate working. Like I said, buy and hold. I mean, now you can take buy and hold and you can turn that into work too. If you want to manage your own property, if you want to be the guy who's out there, you know, qualifying the renters and getting the applications and looking it over and selecting the right person and making sure that they're in place and collecting the rents and paying the bills and doing all the maintenance yourself and doing all that stuff, you can turn your passive income from buying and holding back into a working income. All right. Here again, hey, if that's something that you love to do, then great. Here's the thing, my final thought here. All of those things that have to get done, what's the one common element that is required within all of them? Whether it's you or somebody else or whatever. One common element that's involved in all of them. It's time, okay? So if you're looking for more time for yourself, because there's other things that you like doing better, or I guess you could like other things better. Let's just say there's other things that you want to be doing along with making sure that this business is going. You want to create your business, you want to work in your business, you want to create systems that are going to give you back time so that you can have both time and money. Because you can have all the time in the world you want, just stop doing anything, right? But then you ain't gonna have no money, and what are you gonna be doing? You're gonna be hanging out doing nothing under the bridge. You don't want that, okay? You gotta have money. So you can have money that you have to work to get, or you can have money that other people, a system, an investment. So there's the word, an investment is creating that money for you. When the investment is creating that money for you, then you have time. When you have to create that money, there goes all your time. You guys get me? You guys following along with this? I hope you are, because you can do very, very well in real estate. But if you don't keep this process, this thought process, this whole systemization process in mind with your business from day one moving forward, if you don't keep all that in mind and keep working towards that and figuring it out and putting things in place that, you know, can make it so simple that you can freaking go get your daughter, you know, your high school kid, your friend's high school kid, you know, who just graduated, who doesn't know anything, and you can just plug them in and say, here's the training, this is how you do it, bingo, go do it. Make it that simple, and you can have all the time that you want. Time for your family, time for your friends, time for your hobbies, time for your interests, time for your pleasure, your guilty pleasures, your, you know, whatever. Time for traveling, time for, you know, what's the word I'm on? Time for volunteering, you know, maybe that's something that you're interested in. Whatever the case might be, time is the most valuable thing on this planet. Everything that you do takes time. If all your time's going into earning the money, you have no time for anything else that you might want to be doing. So everybody, real estate working or real estate investing, where are you right now? Where do you see yourself going? Think about the investing side, where you're investing in your business so that you can get time out of it. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. I hope you got a good message out of this. I hope this sinks in a little bit. We all want to do other things. We don't want to be working for our, you know, the rest of our life. Even if it is stuff that we love, we still want it. We still have to have some time somewhere to get away from it, even if it's something that we love. Because if you don't, eventually you're no longer going to love it anymore. You got to get away every now and then. You have to. So with that, O universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom, with which to make better use of the riches that you gave me at birth, consisting of the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever end I might desire, and the end that I desire is all the time that I desire. All right, everybody, make it a great celebration. We'll see you back here on New Op Day, where, of course, we're back into, not Napoleon Hill. We might do some Napoleon Hill one day. But no, we're back into Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People, your success manual to wholesale real estate, to all real estate, actually. Anyway, make it a great celebration. Enjoy your